Hello everybody, it's an exciting day. I've been waiting a long time for my electric skateboard to show up. It just finally made it here today. So let's get right to the unboxing. I'm going to be pretty careful unboxing these because I've actually watched a few horror stories where people were cutting into the box and ended up scraping the grip tape on their deck. So I'm going to be real careful about that. I think I saw a flap over here on this end, so we're going to give that a try first. Okay, a little bit of foam packing, that's good to see. It was not double boxed, which is typically something I kind of look for, especially for higher end products like this, but it's not electronics, so let's see what we got. She's trying to come out. Oh man, from what I can see so far, this thing looks really cool. All right. I don't want all the accessories to start falling out of the box, so I'm gonna put the box down separately real quick. Some more foam packing. It's like the remote, charging base, T-tool for the trucks, wrist strap, which is white, interestingly enough, because the remote itself is black. Take all that out of the package in a minute. A warning label, an instruction manual. Never look at those. Throw that off to the side, and voila, the Maxfind Max 2. Hopefully this is showing up nicely. I'm gonna go a little front to back flyby. Man, this thing feels good in my hand already. I'm just telling you, and these wheels are gigantic. These rear motors are impressive. These are 90mm wheels that are PU. This deck is more of a PVC and PU type deck rather than the old emery board type. And it feels really good actually. I do see a flaw already where it looks like it's bowing up just a bit right here. Okay, so this is a little augmentation to the unboxing I did earlier. This is just going to go a little bit more into the remote and let you know also that I did find a black lanyard in the box. It was buried deep in the box and fell out of the packaging, so it wasn't in any plastic. So there's your black wrist lanyard. There was also a white one, which I mentioned in the earlier part of the unboxing. So it has a nice rubbery finish to it, which is pretty good. Holds in your hand pretty well. It's pretty comfortable, fairly ergonomic. Not as good as some of the other boards with the little ring finger keyhole area where you can put your finger in just for more stability and a better grip, and has that little curved portion up here. This has got a slight curve to it. It's not bad. Also, this little label right here that says 4-back, auto cruise, code, and these things on it with the little Maxfind label right there. That's just an adhesive label, and it's already peeling up. You can even see, I don't know if that's going to focus or not, you can see it's kind of bubbling up on the right-hand side of my remote. So it's just kind of rinky-dink. That's kind of the only real quality fit and finish thing, besides a little bit of the grip tape on the deck, where on the very edges of it, it seems like it's bubbled up a little bit already on me. But other than that, really, build quality seems pretty good. So I've got the Maxfind 2 all charged up. It took, let's see, right at an hour to charge up fully. I had a little bit of a charge from shipping. I already tightened up the trucks a little bit because they felt really, really loose when I first got out. So let's go see what happens. All right, down here in the parking garage real quick, just because I didn't want to take it out on the street. So we're going to check it out just in low speed mode at first and just see what shakes out. All right, kind of easing into it on the controller a little bit. I'm in low speed mode. Feels nice and solid. Actually, this seems like a really good pace just in this low speed mode. Just gonna try to turn a little bit. I'm gonna take it out here where it's kind of bumpy, and I'm gonna go up a hill. Dude, this thing's just gliding up this hill like it's not even there. Wow. We're gonna get going here. This is my first time to really have it outside. Had it down in the parking garage, just tinkering around a little bit. So we're gonna be cruising around the building where I live and Just checking out the ground. First of all, I don't want to get going too crazy fast and figure out that there's big pits in the ground out here.
You know I fall for love.
The braking is much more abrupt than I expected it to be. All right, so I'm applying brakes, and I'm having to jump off. Oh shit. Well, I was about to go right through there and somebody just poured water out of their building. So I guess it's a good thing I wasn't right underneath there. Wow, okay. Welcome to Thailand. This is why I record everything, because you never know what you're gonna see. So far so good. The board really feels nice. Now I will say this thing is stiff. Checked out some long boards, some other types of Canadian maple deck boards with some bamboo in them, and they had a lot of flex, and I've seen the videos where people are bouncing up and down on their boosted boards and all this. This thing, at least with my body weight on it, has like no flex on it at all. I don't know if that's going to prove to be a good or a bad thing. I guess that's to be determined. There's just not a lot of braking action on this remote until you get to a certain point. So I'm letting off the accelerator, very gently applying brake, and I barely feel it slowing. Apply a little bit more and it grabs hard. So maybe there'll be a firmware update, because this board is pretty new out. Like I said, I have never found a review on this board. There's a little bit of media that the company Maxfind put out about it, but try to find another review besides the one I'm doing right here about this board, and it's probably going to be pretty hard pressed. So this is a good time in low speed, at least, to see what it gives you for speed. It's not much. I mean, this is not going to be some impressive speed. I'm just trying to learn the braking. Good, that was a lot better. So I'm going to now test it in high. I've done a couple of passes in low just to check the suitability of the ground out here. So I've gone on high on the remote, showing that I've got a full charge. I just charged this up for about an hour while the board was charging when I got it out. Definitely launches a lot quicker. It's still accelerating, man. It's accelerating pretty fast. I already have to let off because I'm coming up on the end of my smooth ground. So that's not going to do it justice on camera, but I covered that probably 150 meters very, very quickly. We'll see what the app shows here momentarily. All right, I'm trying to accelerate up the hill. It's doing really good at that. So I can have a little bit of speed, and now I'm going to try to get up to a little higher speed before I come up to the end of this turn here. There's so much more of a gradual application on the brakes at the higher speed. All right, now I'm going to go down the hill slowly, because I'm going to see if this has braking ability going down the hill. And so far so good. Wow, brakes still grab really well even going down the hill. That's pretty surprising. I wasn't expecting that. There are some puddles out here today because it has been raining lightly. And I really like the braking so much more in high mode. I don't know why, but in low mode, it really feels like they grab hard. That could just be perceived because maybe I'm starting to get the feel a little bit more of it. Just went through about a ½ inch deep standing water, nothing significant obviously. This thing's supposed to be IP65 waterproof, so we're testing that theory out very lightly as we go. Wow, man, I just barely goosed it a little bit after I rolled out of that curve, and man, it really threw me back.
Let's have a bit of fun till I downfall. My love, if you feel like I do right now, don't say you're on the run to the other side. My love, you say you wanna try, but you never do. Sugar, there's a reason why we lose.
wrap this thing up, we're looking at the belly of the skateboard after riding it for about 15 miles. These streets have been wet, they've been dirty, so I kind of wiped it down a little bit, but you can see no damage to it, even with rocks and chips and junk flying up and glass flying up off the road. The only concern I had were the exposed power cables. They are in some heat shrink back here by the rear truck. You can see there's a nice finish on the trucks, and they stayed pretty well away from the weather. The inside of the hub motors looks good as well. Looking up here at the front trucks, again, you get that same coating on the trucks, so protecting them from the elements. Alright, so in summary, looking at the Max 2, what I found was that the dual motor version, at least of this board, sticks pretty close to what the manufacturer says. 32 inches in length, about 14 pounds. It does have the good battery that's 36 volt 4.4. You can see some of the other stats here. I got about 21 miles per hour out of the board, which was pretty respectable considering I'm 220 pounds. So cons, it is kind of a short board if you're a bigger person. The ride's going to be a little bit harsh because of that stiff deck. It doesn't come on just by rolling it. You have to use the power button. You can't tell the power status of the board unless you hear the beep, which means low power. And I just think at this price, $5.99, you're going to be competing with some of the boards like Meepo and WowGo that are priced more competitively. I like the fact that you don't have an exposed control module or battery box sticking out. That actually looks good. The range was pretty decent. It wasn't the 17 miles the manufacturer said. It did pretty well on hills, even with my big butt on there. And it is priced under some of the more expensive high-end stuff like boosted board and all that, of course. So wrapping it up, I give it about a 7.5 out of 10. Really appreciate you watching the video, and thanks a lot.